Thank you so much for coming and attending the February 2016 Mayoral Employee Recognition event. Many of us chose to bring family members and friends to help with the recognition today, and that's greatly appreciated. And I'm glad to see that that they came, and I hope that you feel welcome while you're here, and we'll get you up here for a picture and all that good stuff. During our Employee of the Month or mayoral recognition event ceremonies, we recognize several different categories of employees, and this month we actually have an honor because we're going to add one that's not typically part of our monthly ceremony. We typically recognize the Employee of the Month. We recognize employees that have reached milestones in their career, whether it be 1 year of service or 5, 10, 15, 20. And then we recognize this month we have 2 employees that have decided that they have served their time with the city and they have retired and moved on to better things. And we're recognizing them for their service and their tenure with the city as well. We're going to begin with the recognition of the Employee of the Month. And prior to getting started, just so everyone knows, the mayor was not able to attend today's ceremony as he is off-site due to the storms and the weather, and so he was called off-site. And Mr. Eric Olson, our city administrator, is going to be our delegate from the office of the mayor today for today's ceremony. So in moving forward, let's first talk about the Employee of the Month. Now, the Employee of the Month is an award that's set to recognize an individual who's one of our all-stars, somebody that goes the distance all the time, somebody that makes us feel proud when someone says, "Oh, you work for the city? I know the nicest, or I know the greatest, or I got the biggest amount of help from so-and-so that works for the city." This award's kind of designed for them. They make us all look good through their hard work and through their efforts, and they help the wheels continue to turn on the bus that we call the City of Pensacola. The February 2016 Employee of the Month began their employment with the city on January 28, 1991. And at that point in time, they were a firefighter 1, later promoted to a firefighter 2 on January 28th of 1993, promoted to fire lieutenant on April 7th, 1997, and later promoted to fire captain on May 7th, 2008, which is where he continues to serve today as a member of the Pensacola Fire Department. And before I go any further, I think it speaks leaps and bounds that we have someone that began their career back in 91 who is still with us and is still putting forth that extra effort and going that extra mile. So I think that in itself says a lot to the character of the individual that's going to be recognized this month. In the write-up, here's what the nominator had to say about our Employee of the Month. During our annual firefighter banquet, Captain Jason Weidlich wanted to find the oldest living retiree and invite them to the event. His research led him to find that there were 4 different individuals that were all in their 90s, and invitations went to all 4. Not only did the 4 retirees attend, but Captain Weidlich ensured that they were incorporated into the ceremony. While pictures of the retirees flashed across the video screen, each retiree was able to give a short speech and reminisce about their prior service with the department. Approximately a month later, Linda Dudley, daughter of one of the 4 recognized, visited the administration building looking for Captain Weidlich. She wanted to let him know that her father, Joseph Wallace, had passed away. She cried but could not thank Captain Weidlich enough, as she stated her father was so proud and happy in those days following the banquet. In addition, if you visit Fire Station Number 1, you will see the ongoing efforts of Captain Weidlich and what he's put forth in turning the station into a gallery with tools and equipment that are part of the department's history being hung on the walls throughout the station. He has been working with both active and retired members of the department to locate and hang historical photos of the department throughout the station. Captain Weidlich is an exceptional employee with 25 years of service to the city's fire department, and he has given great time and effort into bringing the proud heritage of our department to light. It's for these reasons we'd like to recognize Captain Jason Weidlich. If you please come forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, last night?
Yes.
Yeah. It's great that, I mean, I just really look around the room and see so many of
members of the fire department here. I kind of thought you'd all be out, you'd either be sleeping because you had a rough night, or probably the last 2 weeks have been pretty busy. But thanks a lot for coming out here today to support Captain Weidlich. Obviously, well-deserved. We could probably use some of your pictures here in City Hall, so if you get any extras, we've got a place for them. Anyway, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
You get a photo?
And the captain was supported today. His other boss came to help participate in the ceremony. So we thank you for coming. Fantastic. So there were several other employees who received nominations, and I've done this each month, probably for the past 5 or 6 months. So those that were nominated but didn't receive the award, I mentioned their name at the ceremony. We took it a step further, but in being open and honest, I didn't get the letters out until it was yesterday, and then we reached out to let these other individuals know, hey, you were nominated, and even though you didn't get the award, it's kind of a big deal that someone took the time to recognize your hard work and effort. So we've invited them to come. I don't know that any made it, and like I said, part of that's my fault for getting the word out so late, but I will begin reaching out earlier to those that weren't selected, just so they'll know someone thought enough about them to include them in the nominations to be considered. So those individuals include Angela Hendry of the Financial Services Department, Thomas Shep Coggin of the Port of Pensacola, Milton Clark Merritt of the Port of Pensacola, Michael Miller of Pensacola Airport, and then Amy Parsons of the Pensacola Police Department. So are any of those individuals here? I don't think any of them said they were going to come because I gave them a whopping 24 hours to let me know whether or not they can make it. Let's still have a round of applause for them. All their nominations were for a job well done. We had, you can see from the list, we had a pretty significant increase in the number of nominations that our nomination review committee had to review and to vote upon to determine who was actually going to be the Employee of the Month. And for that, I thank all of you, and I ask for your continued effort and your continued help to get those nominations in so that we have more than just 1 or 2 options for them to choose from when they're making the selection. We've got a ton of talented, high-spirited, just all-around good folks that work for the city of Pensacola, and I think each month it should be a hard decision for our committee to come up with that one that we're going to recognize for that month. But anyway, I appreciate the nominations and those that took the time to submit those for this month. We're going to move forward, and we're going to recognize those employees that are celebrating a milestone anniversary as a part of the city staff this month. And we're going to start off with those that are celebrating their first-year anniversary. And we have 2 employees that fall into this category. So when I call your name, please come forward, and we'll present you with your first-year certificate. And the first of those is Mr. Matthew Coughlin of Pensacola Airport.
Hey, man, congratulations. You get 1 year, how many more are we going to get you? 30?
One more.
One more?
Make sure everybody's eyes are open.
Awesome.
That's so busy there. I got to get back to work. I got to go.
Keep going.
The other is Mr. Kenneth Harrison of our Sanitation Fleet Services Department.
You got a lot of work before you do this. Congratulations. We get about how many more out of it?
All right, the next category of employees we're going to recognize are those that are celebrating their 5-year anniversary as a member of the city's team. All of them are part of Marcy Whitaker's crew at Housing. So we have 3 different individuals we're going to recognize for their 5-year service pins, the first of which is Miss Barbara O'Brien.
How'd you all come together at the same time?
I don't know, so now we all have our own, we all have
Congratulations.
Next, Miss Ursula Jackson. All right, and last but not least, with our 5-year service pin category, Miss Donna Cash.
So y'all go out to lunch after this? It's a party, housing party, 5-year anniversary party.
All right, now we're going to fast forward to the next category, which is 20 years of service. And we have one individual that's going to be recognized this month for 20 years of dedicated service with Pensacola Energy, and that's Mr. Darrell Singleton.
That's the 20-year walk there. Congratulations.
He's earned it, let him have it.
Yeah.
See you in 10.
Do we get 10 more?
Fantastic. So there were several others that were invited but were not able to attend.
Yeah, he's supposed to be 15 years.
Huh. Oh, we got no confirmed not attending, but he's here, and we're now prepared. We need to go back in time, and we're going to recognize someone that's celebrating their 15-year anniversary as a member of the city's team. Apologize for that oversight. 15 dedicated years with Pensacola Energy, Mr. Brett Wyndham.
We knew it all along. We just wanted to make it special. All right, we'll spend 5.
I apologize for the oversight there. So we had others that were invited but were not unable to attend. I've mentioned at each month's ceremony that life happens. People are off. People take vacations. Some people may be tending to their homes right now and trying to get their personal affairs in order. So by all means, we understand. I'd still like to recognize their milestones. We're going to start out with Diana McCreary. She has 20 years with our police department. Tiffany Whiting has 15 years with Financial Services Department. Chad Wilhite has 15 years with the Police Department. If any of you are here, stand up and let me know I goofed again. And then Betty Allen has 15 years with the City Clerk's Office. No one's here, so let's have a round of applause for those. They were kind enough. They gave us a phone call and they said, yeah, we're not going to be able to make it. So we do appreciate that if you can't come. There was one other individual, Justin Fillingham. Anybody from the police department here? All right, well, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. 20 years as a police officer with the police department. So let's have a round of applause for him. All right. Now, last and not least by any means, we're going to recognize the two individuals that I talked about earlier who are celebrating their retirement from city services. As we call your name, please come forward. These individuals both worked for the fire department, both had 30 years of service, and both chose the same retirement plaque as their recognition piece. So as we call your name, please come forward. And let's give a big round of applause for 30 years of dedicated service, starting off with Mr. Keith Pape.
I'm kind of afraid here. I think this is the first one we ever gave out. So it's not only 30 years of dedicated service, but you get the very first one. So we'll etch something else in there. Anyway. Congratulations.
All right.
So what are you going to do?
Building houses.
Building houses. Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
unfortunately, there are two people that need Keith, I forgot something
Yeah, you're going to want that.
here. You're going to need that.
Thank you.
That's your contractor's license.
So, and he was accompanied by his wife and a support group. So we appreciate y'all coming. And then the next one, 30 years of dedicated service with our fire department, is Mr. John Lambeth.
It was also accompanied by his new boss.
Break. And what's the future holds? Great. Travel? All right.
I guess new boss will be the right term.
Don't sure.
They're always in boss. We just have 4 hours to work with them.
Okay. All right. So, congratulations to you both on your retirement as you move on to the next chapter of your life, whatever that may hold. And I appreciate the dedicated service and the time that you spent working with our fire department. As we move forward and looking to next month, I again ask for your cooperation and making sure you get those nominations in. It can be for, I've said this before, employees that you work with, somebody that works in another department. We had one nomination I thought was phenomenal last year where it was someone at Pensacola Energy, it may have even been Daryl, that nominated. He didn't know who his sanitation worker was, but they just did a fantastic job, and he did the homework to find out who it was, because when they arrived and left, it was like no one had been there and nothing was on the scene. So that was a great nomination. But whatever the case, please submit your nominations through your directors, administrators, and then directors, administrators. I thank you for your help in making sure that we get the responses back if somebody can attend or if they can't attend for these milestones. I have 2 more things. The first, I'd like to give Mr. Olson an opportunity to speak if he'd like to. And then the second thing, before anyone leaves, we'd like to get anyone that was recognized today to include their support group or whatnot. If you'll come forward, we'll have a group photo of everyone that was part of today's recognition event, and then we'll end the ceremony. So, Mr. Olson.
Thanks, and be sure, we do want to make sure we get that picture. So the first thing, Mayor apologizes, he wasn't able to be here. I think we all understand, the events of last night, unfortunately took him away. He would very much like to be here. I mean, this is something that he really, he enjoys reaching out and telling all the employees just how wonderful he thinks all our employees are. He appreciates the hard work. He knows that sometimes that's not the word that's on the street, but he realizes, and I certainly realize, the hard work that all of you put in every day. And unfortunately today we don't have as many people here because quite frankly they're out working right now, clearing streets and just keeping people safe, doing the work of the city. So again, Mayor sends his regrets. We thought about canceling the ceremony, or actually postponing it. The mayor wanted to go ahead because we'd already made commitments to everybody, and more importantly, you'd made commitments to us to be here. So again, congratulations to all of you. Housing is having the 5-year anniversary party. If anybody wants to stop by there after this, sounds like the place to be, or it was at least 5 years ago. That was definitely the place to be. So thank you for coming. Make sure you come out for the next ones, and I guess it's time to get back to work in the city.
Please come on up to the